Well, hello there and welcome back to The Thought That Counts. You know, last week I didn't upload anything. There's no podcast last weekend. But there's a good reason for that. You see, I was in another place, in a faraway land, meditating. I had kind of a spiritual retreat, if you will. I needed to take some time to myself and work on some things. As many of you know, I've got problems. Many problems. So I was trying to, do some soul searching and some inner resolutions and see if I can fix some of these problems that I've got. And I came to a mountaintop. I sat amidst the creatures and I meditated for 3 days and 3 nights. I wouldn't expect other people to understand this. This is not something that normal people might do. I mean, this is something that you only really do if you are deeply spiritual, you are deeply connected, not only with yourself and your own mind, but also the living things around you, nature, plants. You feel the breath of the earth, release and contract and expand and contract again. It's a very deeply loving experience to go meditate amongst the creatures atop mountains. And I had an epiphany that I'm going to share with you all. You see, I realized something very important. I realized that the most important thing that one can do in life is to make as much money as possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm going to be moving into a different realm of mankind. Many of you who I've been associating with for years will be tossed aside like ragdolls, like the ragdolls that you are. Many people will feel shunned by me, and that's okay because it will be the reality of the situation. Now, you might consider yourself my close friend, but let's say you've been struggling to find something that you enjoy doing, and you've been kind of jumping around from one thing to another, and maybe you're between jobs right now. We're done. We're over. We're no longer friends. We can't be. If you're not getting money, we can no longer be friends. So if you're listening to this broadcast and you are realizing, wow, I don't make money. I don't go out there and get it. I don't grind. I don't chase. I don't get this bread. Then you know where the door is. Please let it hit your ass on the way out because I don't care. Now, this is something that I feel very strongly about. It's something I'm deeply convicted of, and I need you to understand that I say this genuinely. Okay? I mean, honestly, most people out there have no taste. Most of you going through life right now will never develop any sort of real taste for the fine goods of life. No discerning nature between, garbage and genuinely good things. And I'm talking about like across the board. From food to clothing to experiences. Most of you people out there have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Most of you wouldn't know Ferragamos from ferrets. And half of you, I bet, don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Most of you would put dead rats on your feet and be like, oh yeah, these are fine. I got these from JCPenney. No, I don't want to hear it. You got that out of a goddamn garbage can named JCPenney. So don't talk to me about any of the details. I don't want to know about them. I don't want to hear from you. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You are a waste of life. If you're walking around here wearing rags and, shoveling down French fries from Arby's, then be gone from me. Away. Away from me, you scum. Okay? I eat nothing but the finest foods prepared by renowned chefs around the world. I drink nothing but fine Italian wines. Like Sangiovese. Yes, bring me the Sangiovese. Yeah, I'm sitting in a restaurant. I say, bring me the Sangiovese. Bring me the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. House of Antinori only. I'm not taking any of that House Tuscan. Garbage. Filth. Okay, that's why I adorn myself with only the lightest, most breathable linens and the softest, most plush cottons. I don't have time to associate with dirt bags who don't know luxury, who have no taste. Okay? My shoes are handcrafted by Tibetan monks. Where'd you get yours, Target? Fuck off. Okay? Everything I wear is handmade, one of a kind. This watch, one of a kind. These sunglasses, one of a kind. Okay? You're not on the same level that I am. My underwear was handmade by Prince Andrew, Duke of York. The socks that I put on in the morning, and remember, I don't wear socks all the time. I wear loafers. I wear leather Venetian loafers without socks. Okay, we are not on the same level. You and I, we are not the same. If you wear socks with your loafers still, hey, the poor people from 1980 called, they want their style back. I adorn myself with precious metals, rare, finely cut gems. I wouldn't expect an average. I wouldn't expect a rando to understand. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix my handmade, one-of-a-kind glasses there for a second. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Okay? You don't get it because you're not in that realm. You're not in that stratosphere. It's okay. But it's also repulsive. So be gone. Go back into your holes. Okay? Go back to caring about whether or not Elon Musk buys Twitter. Like a simpleton, rummaging around for garbage behind the strip club. I mean, for God's sake, if you really care whether Elon Musk buys Twitter, which he already has at this point, then, I mean, either way, like if you're like super excited about it or if you're really pissed off about it, if you really actually care either way, You're a moron. And you have no life. You hear me? Do you hear me out there, morons? If you give a shit about Twitter, then stop listening to this podcast. If you don't understand that Bojangles is the finest restaurant in all the land, then stop listening to this podcast. If you've never gone to Bojangles and ordered a family meal, if you've never walked out of Bojangles with an actual box, then you and I are not the same. Okay? Just like if you don't have one-of-a-kind sunglasses handmade by the Dalai Lama, then you and I can't be friends. And that's all right, because I didn't want to be your friend anyway. Because you actually think that Burger King French fries are as good as Wendy's. Okay, everyone talks about McDonald's French fries like they're the shit. McDonald's French fries, they are shit. You're right about that. They are shit. Wendy's French fries are probably the best. Okay, they're way up there at the top. And if you don't understand that, then you're either going to the wrong Wendy's or you're an asshole. Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say that you might be an asshole? Look, I know I've probably offended some of you today. I don't give a shit. If you've been offended by something that I've said, then you're one of the people that I'm complaining about. All right? Look, in my line of work, you got to know how to behave yourself. You got to know how to dress. All right? You got to know how to speak. You got to know how to interact with people. You got to know how to get what you need. Most people, I'll give you an example. Okay, I work with a woman. Fortunately, I don't work with her often. But sometimes we're in the same, place. And let me tell you something. This woman has no idea how to behave. Okay? I'll be in an office. And she'll be in a completely different office on the other side of the building. And instead, when she has a question to ask somebody, she doesn't stand up and walk over to somebody else's office and ask them that question. She doesn't send them an email or a message on the computer to ask them a question. She will sit on her fat, sloppy ass and she will yell across the building. She says, "Hey! Did you see that email?" Bitch, shut the fuck up. She's an animal. She's a filthy goddamn animal, and she has no idea how to behave herself. She's not a professional. Okay? You gotta be professional. All right? You gotta know what you're doing when you're in my line of work. You gotta, when you're in my line of work, let me tell you something. When you are a deep sea oil mining magnate like myself, you gotta know how to talk to people. You gotta know how to be the part. You gotta look the part, feel the part, be the part. You gotta dress the part. You gotta know the part. You gotta do everything you can. You gotta feel it. You gotta be it. You have to become the part. If you don't know how to do that, then you're done. We're done. Get out of my apartment. Get out of my estate. Get out of my villa. Okay? Wherever the hell we happen to be at the time. Get out of my penthouse. Get out. Okay? I know I have the same setup in all of my homes. The background is the same, and that's by design. Okay? It's not by coincidence of the fact that I only have a one-bedroom apartment. That's not the case at all. because I have a Spanish villa. I have a castle in Scotland. I have a mansion in the rolling hills of southern Italy. I have a penthouse in New York. I've got a beach house on the coast. In Malibu. I look. I wouldn't expect you to understand. I wouldn't expect you to understand these things. Okay? I've done well for myself. I've done very well. Better than most. Better than you, probably. So, if you want to be like me, you got to dress the part. You have to buy only the finest goods. Okay? If you're not spending $60 on a bottle of olive oil, then you're gonna die poor. Does that make sense to you? If it doesn't make sense to you, then you don't get it. If it doesn't make sense to you, then you don't understand. You see, you got to spend money to make money. And that means you have to have the most expensive handmade one-of-a-kind sunglasses that the world has to offer. You have to dress yourself in only the finest of Italian wools, in only the softest of Supima cottons. I mean, you have to dress the part. You have to impress. You have to dress to impress. You got to impress your customers. You got to impress the client, whoever that may be. Okay? It doesn't matter if you are in the industry of agriculture or if you are in the industry of AI technology. You have to be the part. If you are not the part, you will not get the part. If you don't get the part, you're not going to be making money. If you're not closing deals, you're not going to be... You know what I'm saying? You don't get it. Okay? But I do. I get it. Trust me. I get it. I know what you are. I know what the rest of the world... The world is filled with garbage. The world is filled with filthy, disgusting, ugly people who don't know the difference between Sangiovese and Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Most people haven't, tasted the exquisite flavors of caviar. Most people haven't dressed themselves in handmade Italian suits. Most people haven't experienced anything real. Any kind of luxury, any kind of distinctly selective experience. If you don't know, then you don't know. You know, I mean, you know, you don't. You know? No. No. You don't know. So, go get yourself some Italian wine. Huh? Go get yourself a fine, handmade, one-of-a-kind wristwatch. Go get yourself a fine European sports car. Handmade by Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Go to Italy. Go experience the fine luxuries of the world. Okay? You can skip France. It's a dirty shithole. Go to Denmark. All right, go to Finland. You can skip over Poland too. That's garbage as well. Go to Germany. Go to Switzerland. Okay? Mongolia is still undeveloped and uncivilized. It's still a bunch of monsters. Go to Japan. Okay? Listen, you got to take my advice if you want to become somebody. You want to be somebody? You got to act like somebody. You got to know how to behave in public. When you walk into a nice restaurant, you don't look around, gazing, mouth open. What is that? what is that? Where's the bathroom? You have to just know what you're doing. If you don't behave like you belong, then that means you don't belong. It's a paradox, but it makes sense. So get it together and act like a fucking person. Act like you've been somewhere, goddammit. Everywhere I go, there are people acting like they have no idea how to fucking behave, and it is infuriating. Okay? That's why I'm signing up for a concealed carry course, so I can just start shooting these fuckers in the head. All right? Yesterday, on my way to work, I swear to God, I saw a homeless man with his pants down. I was at a stoplight. I looked over to my right. I saw a homeless man with his pants down taking a shit behind the restroom of a gas station. Not 50 yards from the building where I work. And you know what I did? I killed him. I hit him with my car. I steered over through traffic, across 3 lanes, fucking rammed his ass. Literally. He was facing the other direction. He had no idea it was coming. After I cleaned the blood off my car, I went to work. I walked inside. I looked around and I took a deep breath. I took a deep inhale and I let it out. All my worries were gone. You know why? Because I knew I had just done the world a favor. You got to learn how to behave. You don't take a shit beside a main road. Okay? If you want to be a street shitter do you want to be a street shitter the rest of your life? Do you want to? Do you want that? Because if you've been to Arby's at any point in the past 3 years, at any point in your life, really, then you're a street shitter. And I'll hit you with my car when I have the chance. So you might as well change. Change who you are at the core. You have to change the fibers of your being. You really do. If you don't change now, someone better than you is probably going to hit you with their car. So go to Italy. Experience Venice. Drift through the canals. Okay? I mean, just thinking about it makes me feel so light and happy. Just thinking about it makes me want to sing, you know? Sitting on the porch of a fine Italian villa, sipping my wine from the north, walking through Bologna. We ate some damn good lasagna. Pisa from Verona. Spaghetti in Veneti. I mean, you gotta go. Seriously. Go to the rolling hills of southern Italy. Make a new life. It's okay to start from scratch. It's okay to start from the beginning. You got to make sure you're earning at least $200,000 in your first year. Otherwise, you're garbage. Thank you for joining me today in this episode of The Thought That Counts. And guess what? I'm proud of you. Even though you're garbage, I'm proud of you. And I love you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day. Cheers.